And that, esteemed committee members, is precisely why humans are so endlessly intriguing, Chief Xenoanthropologist KO-RXX announced, his vibrant, multi-hued feathers puffing with enthusiasm as he addressed the Galactic Council's Division for Death World Analysis. His third eye blinked in rapid succession, a clear sign of repressed amusement, as he took in the visibly unsettled faces of the council members. "Oh, how delightfully uneasy they all are," he thought, stifling a trill of laughter. The Crimson Chamber of the Council headquarters on Station Z-9925 buzzed with palpable tension. The hovering crystalline spheres that cast ambient light pulsed in tune with the collective discomfort of the delegates. At the massive quantum-sealed conference table, representatives from across the galaxy had gathered, some gaseous, some crystalline, others with an impossible number of appendages, and a few with none. Ambassador Plick-Ticky of the Silicon Consciousness cleared their voice with a sound like grinding stone. "Chief Orcs, are you implying that humans actually enjoy these so-called dad jokes? And that they don't recognize this as a form of psychological torment?" KO-RXX's feathers shifted, shimmering with the humor he was trying to restrain. "Oh, it gets better. They deliberately craft these awful puns just to make their young grown. It's a ritual meant for bonding. Isn't that wonderfully bizarre?" The hive-minded XXTK collective, present across 7 bodies, collectively went limp as though fainting. Grand Counselor Vlera, her crystalline form refracting light in agitated patterns, interjected, This can only be another example of their latent aggression, subjecting others to such painful wordplay by choice." KO-RXX raised an appendage to stop her. No, you're missing the beauty of it. These are the same beings who, I might remind you, accidentally annexed 3 hostile planetary systems last cycle. And why? Because, and I quote, "the local coffee was excellent, and they wanted a reliable source." The chamber erupted with murmurs and the sounds of delegates activating various stress relief mechanisms. Grand Counselor Vlera's crystal matrix vibrated with visible distress. But today, KO-RXX continued, his tone shifting to a more serious cadence. "I called this assembly because something has occurred, something that makes dad jokes and caffeine-motivated invasions look like trivial footnotes in the saga of human unpredictability." He paused, savoring the dramatic silence, a skill he had learned from the humans themselves. As he watched the delegates fidget in their seats, gravity fields adjusting to their collective tension. Yesterday, precisely at 1532 Galactic Standard Time, humanity as a whole decided they were finished pretending to be civilized. The silence was so intense it felt like the vacuum of space. One could almost hear the faintest hum of a QXD's neural tendril if the QXTL hadn't vacated the station at the mere mention of humans on the agenda. Ambassador Tillel Kai of the Gases Confederation expanded with visible unease. "What exactly do you mean by done pretending?" KO-RXX's feathers deepened to a shade of midnight blue, a color reserved for delivering the most shocking revelations. It began with an odd phenomenon on their global information web, the Internet, as they call it, Chief Xenoanthropologist KO-RXX explained, his voice carrying a hint of barely restrained mirth. "Someone shared what humans refer to as a meme, a humorous image with text that suggested, in jest, that pants were merely an optional part of the social contract. Several delegates immediately reached for their emergency stabilizers." KO-RXX continued, "In mere hours, the idea spread across their species with the speed of a quantum cascade. The incredible part? Instead of dismissing it as a harmless joke, humans launched into a serious discussion, analyzing the very foundations of their societal norms." He projected a holographic display, flooding the chamber with feeds from human social networks, media reports, and philosophical debates. The chamber's AI translator struggled to process the rapid onslaught of human commentary, but some phrases stood out. Asterisk, "Why do we act like small talk is enjoyable? Who decided meetings should last more than 5 minutes? Is business attire a mass illusion? Asterisk, the chief anthropologist's tone held a mix of scholarly fascination and amusement. Within 12 hours, humanity initiated what they're calling the Great Unbothered, systematically discarding social conventions they deemed, in their words, utterly pointless. Grand Counselor Vlera's crystalline structure dimmed in visible distress. But what about diplomatic protocols? The carefully designed standards of interspecies etiquette? KO-RXX's feathers rippled with a shade he couldn't quite identify. Possibly amusement, possibly dread. That, in fact, is why I convened this emergency session. You see, approximately an hour ago, I received a communication from a human chief diplomat's office. With a flick of his appendage, he projected another hologram displaying a simple message. Hey there, space pals. We've decided to drop the act and embrace our inner chaos. We'll still honor all treaties and agreements, but we're done pretending to be properly civilized. P.S. Anyone up for an intergalactic dodgeball league? No gravity restrictions. Love humanity. PPS pants are non-negotiable. Chaos erupted across the chamber. The hive mind representative's 7 bodies collectively began to molt from sheer stress. Ambassador Plick-Ticky crystallized into a perfect block of anxiety. 3 different species activated their emergency hibernation protocols on the spot. Amidst the pandemonium, Chief Xeno-anthropologist KO-RXX watched the spectacle, his feathers shimmering through colors faster than a hyperprocessor, mentally noting that this was only the beginning. Order. I demand order. Grand Counselor Vlera's crystalline structure vibrated so intensely that several nearby delegates began resonating in harmony. The Vermilion Chamber had dissolved into what the humans might call a total circus, a notion that KO-RXX found quite ironic, considering that most beings present would be considered exotic pets back on Earth. Humans have truly infected my very thought processes, KO-RXX mused, narrowly dodging a stress-molted feather from the hive mind representative that whizzed past his sensory crest. If I may continue, he chirped over the clamor, invoking his species' rarely used ultrasonic trill for commanding attention. Instantly, the entire room froze, not just out of respect, but because the sound triggered instincts akin to predator warnings for many species. There's more to report, and trust me, you're going to want to hear this. The hologram shifted, displaying a live feed from Earth's primary spaceport in New Auckland. The sight caused several delegates to activate their perception filters. A human delegation was preparing to board their ship for an important treaty signing with the Crystalline Confederation. Instead of the standard formal attire, the humans wore pajamas? No, KO-RXX's translator chirped in with the correct term, onesies, animal-themed onesies, to be precise. Leading the delegation was Ambassador Eleanor's Call Me Ellie Martinez, decked out as a red panda, complete with a hood with ears and a tail that trailed behind her.
Her staff represented a wide variety of Earth's wildlife: a penguin, a giraffe, multiple species of cat, and one particularly enthusiastic platypus. This footage was taken 3 hours ago, KO-RXX announced, his feathers deepening to a shade of scholarly blue. The ambassador conducted the entire negotiation dressed like this, and periodically added what they call animal noises based on their chosen outfits. Ambassador Plick-Ticky, who had finally decrystallized from their anxiety-induced cube form, stammered, "Surely the Crystalline Confederation rejected this. Oh no," KO-RXX trilled, barely hiding his delight. Not only did they accept the treaty, but they also requested onesies for the next meeting. They found the experience remarkably authentic. The feed shifted to another scene, a human-run trading post in the Orion Arm. The humans had swapped out all chairs for bouncy balls, claiming it enhanced meeting productivity. More alarming, 3 different alien species had already adopted the trend, including the typically stern arachnids of Beelgeuse 7. But here's where things take an intriguing turn. KO-RXX continued, his third eye blinking with exhilaration. The humans' abandonment of social pretense appears to be contagious. A collective gasp filled the chamber, and the gaseous delegates expanded in silent horror. The next hologram displayed the annual economic summit of the Vulpian Trade Federation, a species known for their 1,000-page protocol on tail positioning during negotiations. To the Council's astonishment, the Vulpian delegates were playing a game humans called The Floor is Lava. The Vulpians, KO-RXX explained, have decided this is now their official method for determining trade tariffs. The room fell silent, the delegates utterly stunned by the profound and baffling influence of humanity's newfound authenticity. "This is outrageous," bellowed Grand Counselor Vlera, her crystalline structure vibrating so intensely it shifted into the ultraviolet spectrum. "We must contain this." "This fun?" suggested KO-RXX, earning glares from at least 30 different sets of eyes, each with varying levels of irritation. "What's truly astonishing," KO-RXX continued, unfazed, "is the impact this shift has had on galactic relations. Conflict rates have plummeted by 47% in the last 6 hours. It appears maintaining centuries-old hostilities becomes challenging when one side arrives at peace negotiations dressed as a Pikachu and serving something called pizza." The hologram transitioned to a human-run space station, originally named International Cultural Exchange Station Station Delta. Humans had rechristened it Space Party Central, now with 100% more bouncy castle. Along with this, they had introduced casual Fridays to diplomatic protocols. Only, they seemed to interpret Friday as any day ending in Y across all known galactic languages. Ambassador Tillal Kai, representing the Gases Confederation, had condensed into a tense little cloud. But what of order? Structure? The foundation of civilized space. KORXX's feathers took on a pensive shade of purple. That's the truly fascinating aspect. By all observable metrics, trade efficiency, diplomatic success, cultural participation, everything is actually improving. It seems when you remove the pressure to uphold what humans call stuffy pretenses, communication flows much more freely. Another message from humanity arrived just then, filling the hologram. Hey again, space friends. Quick update. Intergalactic Karaoke Night is scheduled for next week. The Hive Mind Collective already reserved Bohemian Rhapsody. All 7 bodies are pumped for the harmonies. Also, zero-gravity paintball is now a thing. Any takers? P.S. The Vulpian are incredible at the floor is lava. Turns out tails are a huge advantage. P.P.S. Still no pants. Love, humanity. The chamber once again erupted, but this time, KORXX noticed a shift in the atmosphere. Was that curiosity mixed with terror? And even, dare he think it, excitement? The 7th body of the Hive Mind representative raised a tentative appendage. What exactly is karaoke? In that instant, KORXX realized the galaxy would never be the same. His feathers shimmered into a hue no known species had a name for, a shade suggesting both impending disaster and, this is going to be amazing, in equal measure. Because if there was anything more precarious than humans casting off civilization's pretense, it was the rest of the galaxy joining them. KORXX's research log, galactic date 47,392.6, asterisk note to self. Somehow, the humans have convinced me to include emojis in my official documentation. Highly unorthodox, yet oddly satisfying. Asterisk the Vermilion Council Chamber had been abandoned for a more suitable venue, specifically, the newly dubbed Space Party Central Station's primary gathering hall. The galaxy was about to party like never before. KORXX watched in a mixture of fascination and horror as Grand Counselor Vlara, her crystalline structure now adorned with something called fairy lights, tried to explain the situation to the Council's Emergency Response Committee. So, as you can see, she chimed, each word pulsing with colorful glows, we haven't lost control per se. We've simply redefined what it means to have control. Nervous crystalline chimes echoed through the room. The Emergency Response Committee, now lounging on an assortment of bean bags, the bouncy balls had been deemed too mainstream by humanity's newly appointed Minister of Intergalactic Vibes, looked unconvinced. Well, at least the members with physical forms looked unconvinced. The gaseous delegates were busy practicing balloon animal shapes like Earth's party clowns. Perhaps, KORXX interjected, his feathers shifting to what he hoped was a reassuring mauve. A few case studies might better illustrate the current, evolution of intergalactic relations. He pulled up his latest research notes on the holoscreen, now inexplicably set against a backdrop of SpongeBob SquarePants characters. The humans had insisted it was totally on brand for the new galactic mood. Case Study 1, the Rillian Diplomatic Corps Incident, or, as humans have dubbed it, the Great Space Pajama Party of 24. The screen displayed footage of the famously formal Rillian delegation, known for their intricate 17-hour greeting ritual, arriving at a critical trade summit dressed in coordinated silk pajamas adorned with stars and rockets. Their chief negotiator, Supreme Commander Val Thor the Unwavering, clutched a small stuffed bear. In their defense, KORXX narrated as he monitored reactions around the room. The humans assured them that sleepovers were an essential bonding activity. The video continued, showing the Rillians and humans engaging in a pillow fight while simultaneously negotiating a complex neutronium trade deal. Notably, KORXX added with a ripple of amusement, the treaty was completed in record time and included an innovative cultural exchange program focused on blanket fort engineering. He shifted to the next file. Case Study 2, the Hive Mind Collective's foray into human pop culture. The display shifted to show the 7 synchronized bodies of the Hive Mind representative, each clad in a different colored sequin jacket, performing a boy band number as they presented their annual resource report. Their rendition of I Want It That Way is now the most watched video in galactic history, KORXX noted. There is some debate, however, about whether using all 7 bodies gives them an unfair advantage in karaoke contests. Ambassador Plick Tiki, who had somehow acquired an array of stylish shades for each crystalline facet, raised a limb. Point of order. While the harmonies are impeccable, their footwork needs refinement. Duly noted, KORXX chirped, adding a small dance emoji to his official notes. He moved to the final entry. Case Study 3, the Quantum Mechanics Dance-Off. The holoscreen displayed footage from the latest theoretical physics symposium. Rather than the typical lecture format, two prominent scientists, a human and an Andromedan, were locked in what could only be described as a breakdance battle while debating string theory. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, Earth's foremost quantum physicist, presented her unified field theory using what she termed sick moves. KORXX narrated, the Andromedan Science Council was so impressed by her headspin demonstration that they've now mandated dance battles for all theoretical submissions. On screen, Dr. Rodriguez, her lab coat lined with LED strips, executed a flawless windmill, while equations floated in holographic form above her on the dance floor. Since adopting this approach, scientific publication rates have tripled, KORXX noted, though there's some contention over whether the running man is an acceptable defense in a dissertation. An alert flashed on his datapad. Another update from humanity. Hey, Space Council, heads up, we're teaching the arachnids of Betelgeuse 7 the Macarena. 8 legs make it epic. Oh, and the Silicon Consciousness just discovered memes. They've created about 7 trillion formats in the last hour. P.S. The Vulpian proposed incorporating the floor is lava into their coming-of-age rituals. Naturally, we said yes. PPS. Still no pants, but we've invented hover skateboards for legless species. XXO, humanity. KORXX looked up to see that the Emergency Response Committee members were now swaying various appendages to the beat of Stayin' Alive, which had somehow become the station's unofficial anthem. I believe, he announced, his feathers flashing through what humans called disco colors, we must confront the true question here. Not how to halt this transformation, but rather, he paused, scanning the room at the representatives of galactic civilization. Crystalline beings adorned with friendship bracelets, gaseous entities perfecting ghost shapes, hive minds rehearsing choreography. Whether I should wear the T-Rex or the unicorn onesie to tomorrow's council session, the chamber erupted in lively debate. 3 species offered fashion advice at once, and somewhere in the background, the unmistakable sound of a conga line began to form. In that moment, KORXX realized the humans might have been right all along. Why pretend to be civilized when authenticity was far more efficient? KORXX's personal log, galactic date 47,392.8, status. Slightly alarmed that I'm now including LOL in my official reports, the newly dubbed Totally Rad Council Chamber, formerly the Vermilion Chamber, had undergone what humans called an extreme makeover, and the galaxy would never look back. The formerly austere chamber now bristled with inflatable couches, while the once reverent crystalline lighting orbs pulsed in sync with an energetic human phenomenon known as EDM. A large banner draped across the entrance read, *Serious Business, but make it fun, *KORXX, his feathers glimmering in what the humans had dubbed his party plumage, addressed the assembly. I must acknowledge, he began, his tone both amused and incredulous, that recent developments have utterly surpassed any conceivable prediction. He gestured toward his holographic display, which now boasted an animated backdrop that the Silicon Consciousness insisted added pizzazz to the data. Consider Exhibit A, the MRXXL conflict. The screen displayed footage of the galaxy's once most feared warrior race, the MRXXL, a formidable species of 12-foot-tall predators infamous for their century-long blood feuds. Now, however, they were competing with their ancient foes, the Peace Collective of Proxima Centauri, in a bubble tea showdown, courtesy of a human-introduced phenomenon called competitive crafting. KORXX narrated, the MRXXL have redirected their entire military budget into artisanal boba production. Their general of supreme conquest is now known as the Boba Bara, and has launched a chain of cafes in previously contested regions. Ambassador Kai, now an adept at balloon animal shapes, contorted into a question mark. But what of their sacred oath of eternal vengeance? It seems, KORXX chirped, his third eye twinkling, that it's rather difficult to sustain ancient hostilities when your sworn enemy serves an exceptional brown sugar milk tea with crystal boba. As it happens, the Peace Collective's secret ingredient is, appropriately, love. The next display flickered to life. Exhibit B, the Quantum Anomaly Crisis. The screen showed footage from the galaxy's largest quantum research facility, where a containment failure had once threatened to unleash a cascade of universe-ending paradoxes. The solution? KORXX continued, his feathers shifting to a shade of gleeful fascination. Humans suggested treating it as a colossal game of Simon Says, translating quantum manipulation into dance moves set to sick beats. Quantum particles have shown a surprising affinity for rhythmic engagement. The facility now operates as an eternal rave, maintaining containment through positive particle vibes. Footage showed scientists in lab coats adorned with glow sticks, carefully guiding particle flows with choreographed motions. A small note on the screen confirmed a 462% boost in operational efficiency. Finally, KORXX presented his last entry. Exhibit C, the Great Bureaucratic Revolution. The display shifted to the Central Galactic Administrative Hub, historically dubbed the place where dreams went to fill out forms in triplicate and perish. Humans had introduced casual forever attire and bring your pet to work day, and streamlined the notorious 847-step process into something they called vibes-based approval. Remarkably, KORXX explained, administrative efficiency has surged by 1,200%. It turns out that allowing sentients to decorate official documents with emojis and bring space pets to meetings enhances decision-making outcomes. The delegates buzzed with newfound enthusiasm, and the hologram flickered with messages of LOL and vibe check approved. KORXX's feathers shimmered with satisfaction. Humanity had reshaped the galaxy in their own eccentric image, and so far, the results were both productive and unexpectedly delightful. The footage on the screen showed a high minister approving a major trade route while being nuzzled by a creature that seemed to be a cross between a puppy and a sentient nebula. Just then, another alert blinked across the display. A fresh update from humanity. Hey, Space Fam, quick update. We've cracked faster than light travel. Turns out, it's less about complex equations and more about teaching quantum particles to play follow the leader. Also, we've introduced the void beasts of Sector 7 to red light, green light, and their naturals. P.S. The MRXXL are hosting an intergalactic bake-off next week. Theme, Peace Through Pastries. PPS. Still no pants, but we've invented quantum-entangled friendship bracelets. PPPS. The Silicon Consciousness has started a TikTok account. We're honestly a little scared of what they'll unleash. Hugs and quantum kisses. Humanity, KORXX, scanned the reactions of the gathered delegates. The hive mind representatives' 7 bodies were already practicing their moves for the next TikTok dance challenge, and Grand Counselor Valerius' crystalline form was now refracting light in what could only be described as a shimmering groove. But perhaps the most astonishing development, KORXX continued, his feathers shifting to a shade that somehow balanced professional analysis with party mode, is the impact on the void beasts themselves. The screen displayed footage of the immense cosmic horrors, ancient beings that had once terrorized the very fabric of space and time, engaged in a colossal game of interstellar tag. After humans introduced them to the concept of play dates, the void beasts have shifted their universe-consuming energy toward galaxy-wide scavenger hunts. Their latest event, Find That Nebula, drew over 7 trillion participants. The display then showed the void beasts' latest community newsletter, which featured recipes for cosmic horror cookies and tips for making tentacles more huggable. Moreover, KORXX added, watching the increasingly joyful scene around him, they've started offering their skills as party entertainers. Their reality warping abilities have made them experts at balloon animals. Though their creations do tend to exist in 11 dimensions, he added a final entry to his research notes, Galactic date 47392.9, asterisk status. I think I finally understand humanity's master plan. Also, this unicorn onesie is unexpectedly comfortable, asterisk. The totally rad council chamber had transformed into a hybrid carnival, scientific symposium, and what the humans referred to as a rave. Currently, it was hosting what the humans insisted was a TED Talk, although KORXX, with characteristic scientific precision, noted there was no actual person named Ted, nor much conventional talking. My fellow galactic beings, he addressed the gathering, his feathers now seemingly locked in permanent party mode. I believe I finally uncovered humanity's true strategy. They played us all. A collective gasp rippled through the chamber, though it was hard to tell whether it was from his revelation or from the void beast demonstrating a flawless breakdance routine in the corner. You see, he continued, pulling up his final analysis on the holographic display, now festooned with sparkly gifts the humans had added. This isn't just random chaos for chaos's sake. The chamber fell into a hush, all eyes, appendages, and consciousness clusters focused on KORXX. Humans have discovered the secret to unifying the galaxy, a blend of joyful absurdity and genuine connection. In other words, they realized that sometimes the path to peace isn't through diplomacy or negotiation, but through dance battles, pajama parties, parties, and interstellar bake-offs. They've created a galaxy where even the most fearsome of us can put aside our differences to just have fun. As he finished, the chamber erupted into cheers. Somewhere, the beat dropped on Dancing Queen, and a conga line snaked its way across the room, guided by both dignitaries and void beasts alike. KORXX chuckled, realizing that, in embracing the humans' unorthodox ways, the galaxy had found harmony it had never before known. With a satisfied trill, he added one last note to his research log, *final status. Galactic unity achieved. Also, *, this may very well be the most brilliant diplomatic maneuver in galactic history, KORXX declared, gesturing to the screen displaying a complex chart that somehow combined serious analytics with a dazzling amount of glitter. Let's review the evidence. In the past week, since humans decided to abandon all pretense of formality, we've achieved the following milestones. 1. The MRXXL and Proxima War ended over bubble tea and cupcakes. 2. The quantum crisis was resolved through interpretive dance. 3. Bureaucratic gridlock vanished after introducing office pets and emoji-based documentation. 4. The void beasts now operate the galaxy's most successful party planning business. But here's the real revelation. KORXX chirped, his third eye twinkling with newfound clarity. Remember that whole statement about pants being optional in the social contract? It was never just about pants. The display shifted, showing a complex web of interconnected events, social shifts, and an unexpected number of cat memes. Humans recognized that galactic civilization had tied itself into knots with formality. We'd created so many layers of rules that we'd forgotten why we made them in the first place. By introducing what they call chaotic good vibes, they've actually stabilized the galaxy. The screen provided undeniable evidence. A chart showed the Silicon Consciousness's meme creation rate rising in perfect sync with diplomatic success metrics. Another graph indicated that the adoption of silly walks at formal events had led to a 500% increase in treaty signing efficiency. And now, the most compelling proof, KORXX continued, pulling up a new message that had just arrived from humanity. Dearest Galaxy Squad, remember when we said we were done pretending to be civilized? Plot twist. Turns out being authentic is the highest form of civilization. Who knew? Also, the Void Beasts are hosting an intergalactic quinceanera next week. Don't ask how they learned about that long story involving Netflix and a quantum anomaly. Everyone's invited. BYOB. Bring your own bioluminescence. P.S. The Silicon Consciousness has achieved meme enlightenment. They say it's both hilarious and deeply philosophical. PPS. Still no pants, but we've discovered that friendship is the warmest clothing of all. Just kidding, quantum heated onesies for everyone. PPPS. The Hive Mind Collective's boy band is going on tour, opening for the Dancing Void Beasts, Feet DJ Bureaucrat Supreme, and the Infinite Cosmic Giggles. Love, humanity, KORXX looked around, watching as understanding dawned across every species present. Faces, tendrils, appendages, and even floating probability clouds seemed to resonate in agreement. They had all spent so long clinging to order, to protocol, that they'd forgotten the reason behind unity itself. With a ripple of party plumage, KORXX concluded, humanity's chaotic good vibes have reminded us of the most fundamental truth. A galaxy united in authenticity, joy, and a little harmless mischief is a stronger galaxy. A round of applause broke out, accompanied by the unmistakable beat of Dancing Queen, and as a conga line formed with Void Beasts and Galactic Council members alike, KORXX chuckled to himself, marveling at the simple brilliance of it all. The humans had redefined civilization, not by forcing the galaxy into their mold, but by showing everyone it was okay to let loose and be themselves. In his final log entry, Galactic Date 47392.9, KORXX noted, status, understanding achieved. Humanity's plan was simple, after all, embrace the chaos, and the galaxy will thrive. P.S. Quantum heated onesies are delightful they knew, KORXX explained, his feathers shifting to a hue that could only be described as enlightened amusement, that the only way to save the galaxy from itself was to make us stop taking ourselves so seriously. And it worked. All around him was proof. The Hive Mind Representative's 7 bodies were leading the Void Beasts in the Macarena. Grand Counselor Valerius' crystalline form now refracted light perfectly in sync with the latest K-pop hits. The Silicon Consciousness had transformed bureaucratic procedures into viral dance challenges, with efficiency now at unprecedented levels. And most importantly, as KORXX observed a human diplomatic delegation entering the chamber, dressed in dinosaur onesies with light-up shoes, he realized they had taught the galaxy its most valuable lesson. The chamber fell silent, save for the eternal rave keeping the quantum containment fields humming in the background. True civilization isn't about pretending to be something you're not, KORXX announced. most. It's about creating a space where everyone can be exactly who they are, even if who they are happens to be a serious scientist who loves presenting quantum mechanics while doing the chicken dance. The human delegation, led by Ambassador, call me Ellie Martinez in her signature red panda onesie, flashed KORXX a thumbs up. So, perhaps, he trilled, his feathers glowing in a rainbow of colors and a few that existed only in quantum flux. We should thank our human friends. They didn't just stop pretending to be civilized. They showed us what civilization really means. The chamber erupted in applause, waves of tentacles, quantum ripples of approval, and no fewer than 3 spontaneous dance parties. Somewhere in the background, a void beast was demonstrating, the worm, across 11 dimensions as the hive mind collective beatboxed an impressive rhythm. KORXX recorded one final note in his research log, conclusion. Humanity's greatest trick wasn't simply deciding to stop pretending to be civilized. It was showing us that true civilization begins when you stop pretending altogether. PS. The pants thing was genuinely non-negotiable. PPS LOL.